Welcome, welcome. It's not, I was just gonna say it's Wednesday out of muscle memory. It's Thursday. Sorry I wasn't on here last night. There's some hair. Sorry I wasn't on here last night. My husband and I have really been taking our business to the next level. You know, when you plant seeds, they eventually are going to grow if they're nurtured. So we've been really busy doing energy work. So we had a client last night. So I apologize for not being on here, but I'm here tonight. So I'm going to shuffle while we wait for everybody else to kind of get on here. How's everybody doing? It's been such a crazy weather week. It's been a crazy work week. It's the energy. I can't tell you the amount of shifting that I have been experiencing, and my husband as well, lately. It's just, it's crazy. It kind of comes out of nowhere, and, you just have to run with it. Hello. Am I going to pronounce this right? One. Please correct me if I'm not pronouncing that right. That's a very beautiful name. Thank you for watching. So tonight we're going to do, I'm just shuffling here because I'm going to open it up with a little kind of warm and fuzzy affirmation card. We are going to talk about the crystals associated with the zodiac sign Taurus, which I wrote down a couple of them. We're probably only going to talk about the 4 that I have in my personal collection. And that is diamond, which we all have, most of us, if we're married or engaged, have diamonds. Or rhodonite, which is this one. I love this one because it looks like the real tree, like the camouflage. That's so popular, That's what it reminds me of. And I like it because it has the pink camouflage. It just reminds me of both sides of your chakras, the masculine and the feminine. My cat was in here, so I have a little extra hair floating around. So we get diamond, rhodonite. And then this doesn't look like rose, but it is. It's rose quartz. This light in here is not the best. I apologize. This is rose quartz. And then the 4th one is this fuzzy one here is selenite. And these are actually, these 3, these are quite my favorites. I use these 2 quite a bit. So if you're just starting out and you don't know what crystals to get and you want to experiment and you just kind of want to use some for your everyday use or just for meditation purposes, or there's no right or wrong crystal. There's no right or wrong way to use the crystals. You don't want to abuse it. You don't want to have too many people handling the crystal because then you're getting more energies on it. But there are ways to cleanse your crystals. And that's, you put them out in the moonlight. That's, and then selenite, you do not want to get this wet. You do not want to get this one wet. All right. The properties of it will like dissolve. So you do not want to get selenite wet. All right. So, but yes, recharging them in like a full moon. That's what we do in the moonlight. All right. So tonight we're going to start out. Let's just shuffle these. Is the stones, crystals, however you want to call them, associated with the zodiac sign Taurus, which is mostly May, I believe. I know my husband's a Taurus and he's May 6. So how's everybody doing? Comment on here if you're still on here. I see 2 eyes. All right, so tonight's opening card for the collective. Oh, what's this? All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. And what's coming forward for me, I practice my intuition skills daily, is the way that these lines are kind of like coming in and out. You know, we just have to wait for those moments to pass, because that's all they really are. And if you're in that moment, you just wait, because another one's coming right around the bend. If you don't like that moment, just wait, because there'll be a new moment. And you can create your moment. You don't like the moment you're in, create a different one. It's all about attitude. I like that. All right, so that's going to set the mood. All is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. I like that. All right. So we're going to start out with diamond. And I wrote down some things from the app that I have on my phone regarding diamond. And I have this Colette Baron Reed's Oracle card deck that I use for doing the crystals. And so what I've done is I have specifically went to that stone in the book, pulled the card. I just love these cards. The detail in them is just amazing. So this card in particular is the number 20, if you're into numbers at all, and 2 plus 0 is 2, if you're into numbers. So diamond is a high frequency energy. If you want to have high frequency energy, then you need to be around diamonds. Have the diamonds on you. It stimulates psychic development, which I did not know that. It boosts creativity and imagination. And it is associated with the crown chakra, which is the chakra that connect us to divine. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Diamonds are, a very cherished diamond. Diamonds also balance out the masculine energy. So we have yin and yang. We have feminine energy and masculine energy. And if you followed my chakra series, I talk about the difference of the yin and the yang and the masculine and feminine energies in this. So if I can remember, I will try to post that. I better write it down. I will try to post that video after this, because I did a whole series on all the chakras. All right. So I found this in the book, and the book that I'm reading is my husband's book, because he is a shaman Reiki practitioner. And so he got this book. So in it, it says diamond. I provide an abundance of light. I am an integrator of mind, body, and spirit, strengthening the subtle energy network in and around your body. In and around your body. I connect you to who you really are. Boy, that last sentence really resonates with me, because I have been really trying to find that out lately. Really trying to dig deep and get to root causes of some of my thought patterns, some of my ailments, some of my emotions, and really allowing myself to forgive and let go, and then move on and take control. So those are, I could probably develop a program to try to do that, because I have worked very, very hard. I call it, my husband and I call it shadow work. And that's where we go in and basically start dealing with your shit. Why do you behave this way? Why do you act this way? Why do you Why are your emotions like this? What causes these? You know, I'll use the word trigger. Until I find a different word, folks, I'm going to use the word trigger. But what prompts you, what cues you, what promotes, you know, your emotions and your behavior. And so I have started to look really, really, really deep into those things. And a lot of them I found out are from past programming, past relationships, childhood. We go all the way back to childhood. Past lives even have affected our behavior in this body, in this lifetime now. So if you ever are able to do a past life regression session, it is powerful. It really connects some of the dots. If you've are looking at like, oh, I've always been this way, or I've always wondered why I always react this way, or why this is this way, or I have a phobia. So I found out, just a little off topic here, but this is the way it goes. So, and feel free to share your comments too on here. But I, as a child, when I was little, I could never have my hair washed by my mom, bending over. Like back in the day, we didn't have a shower when we were kids. So we either had to like be on hands and knees in the tub, and then you get the cup of the water, or you had to lean over the tub, or you had to lean over the sink. And I would scream blood curdling screams when anybody, it's just, you know, especially whoever was washing my hair. And my mom, I think, I'll have to ask her, but I think what I remember is she wouldn't wash my hair very often for the fact that she knew that this was going to like trigger me screaming. And I've always wondered why I never wanted my hair washed that way. Because I always would have to, like, my mom, until I was big enough, too big to be on the counter, I would have to lay on my back and tip my head back. And that was fine. But if I was face down, I would freak out. So interesting. My husband and I have been on this journey for 2 years, and there was a specific thing that we wanted to delve into, and I kind of got that it was a past life. So once we got into the past life, I was actually drowned as an Egyptian prostitute. Longer story, but we'll get to the point. And that's because I was drowned. The pimp I had in my past life was not happy about me leaving, and so he drowned me. So interesting tidbit, it put the phobia from, you know, from that past life into this life. And it made total sense when we put the two together. So there's my experience. There's my testimony on that. Ripley's, believe it or not, don't care. That's my theory on that. That's my experience. So we got off on a tidbit about that. All right, I have a couple more things from the book about diamond that I wanted to read. So it provides spiritual confidence and activates the crown chakra. The brilliance of light from a diamond dispels brain fog, and dispel means it removes it. So the brilliance of light from a diamond removes brain fog and gives clarity to meditation. So the brilliance of light from a diamond. So I wonder if like you would shine sunlight or like through, you know, like a crystal, like a pyramid, you know, I know there's another word for it. They use it in like cameras and telescopes and stuff. Why can't I think of the word? Anyways, to bring in the light and shine it and it reflects. And I wonder if that would help if you were actually able to find, you know, if you were, if you could afford that size of diamond to do that. Excuse me. All right. I think there was one more thing that I wanted to read about with the diamond. Diamond. Nope, that's rose quartz. And that's it for diamond. So I'm going to read from the message from the book, folks. because like I promised you I'd read from the book. The essential meaning of the diamond. The priceless gift of time and pressure combined, beauty and strength arising from trials and challenges, the right use of power. As co-creators with our fellow beings, we are meant to work together harmoniously, giving and receiving, taking turns and sharing the work, the credit, the fun, and the power of manifestation. Today you are called to claim your power and exercise it with respect and love for all, even those who are hard to love, especially those who challenge you. You never know what silent struggles people are hiding. And your ability to express love is magnified by Diamond Spirit today. So listen to that part of you that wants to be kind and understanding towards someone who is making it difficult for you to come from your highest self. This is a great one to have at work, people. Diamond has appeared to let you know that this is a moment to wield your power mindfully. You have earned wisdom over time as you have suffered much in your life and now are in a place of maturity and understanding. I feel like this card is like talking right to me. Avoid being reactive, for there is strength in quiet, loving gestures such as the willingness to listen or to say, I am so sorry that you are in this situation. Often, it is these gentle actions that hold the most power. Your ability to move hearts is very strong right now. So even as you maintain healthy boundaries, make the choice to own your power and use it with wisdom and grace. I'm dealing with this like literally this week, folks. In doing so, you align with the conscious universe who knows the healing power of love and compassion. Can anybody else relate to that? Because that is like spot on. That is the week that I've been having. I've been trying to set boundaries in relationships and trying to like lead with a lot of love at work. It's just so loud and chatty and busy lately. It's just, it's hard to, I struggle with that. I struggle with like the auditory, the outside noises. So half the time I have my headphones on because I just have to escape from the work chatter. All right. Well, that's Diamond. I will take pictures and post at the end of the live. Any questions? Because we're going to move on. We're going to move on. Oh, did I? Oh, I forgot to write down the thing for selenite. Oh, we'll get to it. Okay, the next one is rhodonite. This one looks very different than the one I have, but this is a polished rhodonite. I don't even remember where I got this one. But then in my book, it looks like a grapefruit, doesn't it? Grapefruit. So the number is 47. And 4 plus 7 is 11. And 1 plus 1 is 2. And the other card was a 2. Okay, so are we on like a theme here? Could be. So rhodonite is a boost. It boosts creativity specifically for making music. Oh, did not know that. Helps with attention to detail and memory. Helps to see both sides of an issue. So like you could be a neutral party. It helps be a neutral party. Helps reach your full potential. And this is a great one to have at work. So having that diamond one and the rhodonite, this is a great one to have with you at work or school. Work or school. I like that one. So I'm just gonna look for my notes that I left here. And this, if you're just joining on, we're talking about crystals associated with the zodiac sign Taurus. Where is it? Where is it? Emotional balance is rhodonite. Emotional balance. All right. This crystal is pink with black veins and provides excellent grounding for a heart chakra experiencing heartbreak. I did not know that. See, I'm learning so much by doing these lives. For heartbreak, it can also stimulate the heart chakra and mental levels into a higher purpose for humanity. It relates to the root chakra, but it is best worn at the heart, so Rhodonite's lessons can be absorbed at a more conscious level. So for heartbreak, so who are my heartbreakers? Who's going through some heartbreak? Get yourself a Rhodonite stone and carry it with you for the next 30 days. All right. So that's Rhodonite, and I do have a message in the book. So let's do that. What's the message for Rhodonite? Harmony in relationships, easily connecting with others, generosity, reciprocity, discovering hidden talents to share with others. Relationships help us reach our destiny and discover our purpose, and people will come into our lives to be our angels on earth, offering love, encouragement, and resources for building the lives we want for ourselves. Now is the time to connect to others in a spirit of generosity. For Rhodonite spirit is here to help you from healthy partnerships that benefit everyone. Help you form healthy relationships. Allies can be invisible or come in unexpected guises, so keep your eyes open. Listen to the little voice inside nudging you to reach out and extend a hand to someone you feel a connection to. This person might have invaluable ideas or solutions to offer you, or be the inspiration that helps you to find the courage to move into unfamiliar territory. And express gifts that you may not have known you had. The universe works through people. So think about connecting today, if not to an old friend or someone you love, then to someone you've been too shy to approach. Heal the belief that you should do it all yourself. We're in this together. We are meant to work in partnership, exchanging our gifts to better the whole world. Well, that makes sense. I like that. There was a little work thing that happened today, and when we got done with it, because we learned something about what we could do to make this particular process better. And I said to the gal, I just said, well, we need each other so that we can get better together. And so that was my little positive spin on it. I like that. That's Rhodonite. Rhodonite for our Tauruses. Okay. I will take pictures. All right, moving on. Lots of loved ones. Lots of loved ones, Taurus is. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is rose quartz. Rose quartz. And the number is 48. 4 plus 8 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that's the rose quartz. It is the universal, it's the stone of universal and, or stone of unconditional and universal love. It promotes self-healing and self-love. So it's a great one to wear every day around in your pocket or in your bra. Note, if you wear stones in your bra, try to remember that they're in there because they can fall out if you forget, and then you'll break your stone. This is my second rose quartz, okay? And I'm not wearing this one in my bra anymore because they fall out and they break on my tile floor. This one removes negativity. Also a good one for work or school or for family if you're around negativity. Promotes forgiveness and encourages self-worth and self-trust. If you have come to my forgiveness ceremonies, you get a forgiveness little card, and then you'll get like a mini a mini rose quartz so that you can use the card in your everyday life, and you can use the stone for your own personal meditation sessions. So rose quartz, also for emotional balance. And from the book, a master healer and a heart chakra opener. Rose quartz oozes compassion into all centers of the body. The wearer becomes aligned with the gracious and gentle energy, such as despondency and possessiveness, and promotes harmonious relationships. It also cools inflammations. Did not know that. As well as emotional issues related to pain. Emotional issues related to pain. Wow. I know that when I had my injury, I had a pinched nerve this fall, that I was just like, I was so emotional. Like, I was so sad. I was so sick and sad of being in pain, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't do lives. I decided not to do readings because it was just, I could barely make it to work. And when I did work, I had to come home and just rest with my head, braced up against the, my recliner, because it hurt so bad. So when I read that was like, okay, I know what that feels like. It enhances one's ability to give and receive love by opening the heart chakra and stimulating greater flexibility in communications. It mellows out a reluctant heart and provides peace in relationships through harmony. Rose quartz is used for meditation, to still one's aggressive thoughts, and to provide mental tranquility. It is best used in the upper chakras, but can be used elsewhere on the body as needed. And I have to let my visitor in. Come on, do you want to make your debut? Come on. No? All right, I'll leave the door open. We are fostering a cat. And so she thinks she has to be everywhere with us. So if anybody's looking for a really awesome cat, I have posted it on the group, and she's super awesome. She loves to snuggle. She loves to watch TV. She's just a super awesome cat. But my husband is allergic, and we just decided after Nigel passed on that we just didn't want to have a pet. Maybe someday, but we just don't want a pet right now. Rose quartz. Here's the message for rose quartz. Self-love, self-worth, being enough, worthiness. When rose quartz spirit appears, you are called to pay attention to one of the most wonderful creations the universe has ever brought into being. You. Have you forgotten how beautiful you are? You are beautiful. You have so many strengths and a unique set of qualities that will be like magical superpowers as you walk the healing path. Rose quartz spirit has come to remind you of your soul's worth. Many, many people will benefit simply from knowing you and being in your present, drinking in the love that radiates from your heart. Trust that the universe is always there to fill you up with the power of love whenever you need it, and remind you that you are worthy of all that you seek, and you are an exquisite expression of divinity. What a powerful and one-of-a-kind source of healing love you are. I want to read the next part, folks. We are conditioned to forget how amazing we are. So when rose quartz spirit shows up, it's because now is a time for being aware of how quickly we forget our beauty and our worth. Have you been falling into a comparison trap and convincing yourself that you aren't good enough and that you have to work hard to deserve what you want for yourself? No, no, no. Let go of that scarcity mentality. Comparing yourself to someone else should be done only when you want to identify those matching inner strengths of yours that you wish to amplify, so that you may experience even more love and prosperity. Today is a good day to connect with what you see and love in others, and feel the presence of those attributes within yourself. Remind yourself of the times when you have been strong, smart, playful, confident, whatever the quality it is within you. Know that you have all you need, and you will see your relationships reflecting that you are worthy of what you desire. Say that again. You are worthy of what you desire. Say that in the mirror. Say it in the shower. Say it while you brush your teeth. Say it. Hello, Marquetta. I think I pronounced that appropriately. Thank you for hopping on here. Marquetta? Is that how you say it? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you. All right. The last one that we're going to talk about is selenite. And this is a really, really good one for meditating and connecting with the divine. Sometimes I try to even put it like right on my third eye, you know, if I'm laying down, and it's like a cooling, you know. So sometimes, you know, if you're struggling with meditation and you just quite can't get to that meditative state that you desire, or you fall asleep, you know. And sometimes falling asleep is okay, because the spirit will give you what you, the universe and spirit, God will give you what you need. So maybe what you need is to rest. And so if you fall asleep during meditation, that's because you need more rest. Be happy that you got what you needed, because that's what you needed and that's what you got. So embrace the fact that your meditation session, you got to take a little nap. Cool, right? So selenite is a really good one during meditation if you have answers that you want from the divine, or if you want to connect to the divine or your spirit guides. All right. So selenite. Liquid, light, fluidity. Flexibility, illumination, and clarity, raising your vibration. And the number to this one is 49. I like this one. Remember, do not get your selenite wet. It will dissolve. When selenite spirit appears, its message to you is to keep moving past your challenges. Your sight's always on raising your vibration. The higher vibration, the easier we can connect with the divine. To be like fluid, light, illuminating, fluid, and flexible. For even the earth and her rocks, stones, and crystals change and reveal more of themselves over time. Selenite's message is that whatever the pace of change, you must yield your expectations about how things should be so that you can discover the beauty in how things are evolving. Like liquid light flowing around an obstacle, you have the capacity to move more freely than you might realize. Know that a new perspective can help you see that. And my vibrations are raising, and I am warm. All right. You don't ever have to be stopped in your tracks. Be flexible in your thinking, for there is more wisdom in the universal consciousness than in your own individual mind, and it is always available to you. The way out of the old patterns is to enter the unknown without maps or well-defined familiar path. Surrender your fear and know that the universe is here to provide you with clarity and guide you through unexpected twists and turns. I like that. And it's twisty. Twisty and turny. Oh, yes. Trusting the universe, folks. That is easier said than done. You know, and no matter where you are in your spiritual journey, wherever you are in your life, there are always going to be challenges. There's always going to be things that challenge us. Even our own self can challenge us. I have been dealing with a very overprotective ego. And now that I have realized that some of my thought patterns were from ego, I can recognize when it's really how I think about something versus when it's ego. And a good rule of thumb, and you can ask anybody this, is you can tell if it's ego if it's based from fear. So think about that. Let that sit in. So the next time you want to react about something, ask yourself, am I reacting out of love? Or am I reacting out of fear? Am I reacting out of confidence? Or am I reacting out of lack? That's all I'm going to say. Because you're going to take that pause and you're going to look at the situation that you're about to react to. And if you can catch yourself, which is practice, you just have to practice. It'll come. The more you practice, the easier it gets. And you'll start to recognize when ego is trying to take control. And me and my husband were literally just talking about this before I went live, that my ego is really fighting my ascending because I have made some shifts and I am growing and ascending. And ego doesn't like that because ego's been hurt a lot in many lives, in this life. And she just wants to keep me safe. And I have to let her know that I'm in control and that I'm going to believe in the universe. And the universe is going to protect me and guide me always. And sometimes she's not on board with that. And she's got some defiant issues. And she wants to rebel all the time. All the time. She wants to butt in line and be the boss. And I have been realizing now that I have the ability to control that, to control ego, which feels amazing because for the first time in my life, I have realized that if she's this overprotective and I'm aware of it, how overprotective was she when I wasn't aware of it? So whose life was I living up until, a couple of years ago when we started this practice? Well, Figo, fear and ego was controlling my life. There's my little testimony and heartfelt on that. All right, for the collective, I'm going to be pulling from, not that deck, this one, the Star Dragons. And I picked this one out because my husband is really drawn to dragons. He has a dragon spirit guide, and it is huge. And I was created as a star in my first life. So my soul space is a star. So I like that. So when I saw this deck, I'm like, oh, it's like me and Travis, a star and a dragon. Anyways, so I shuffled, and the card that I'm going to pick is going to be for the collective, for the highest good of the collective. Independence. Independence. Carving your own path. Wow, do we need a lot of independence lately, folks? Oh, these are really shiny. It's got a glare. Here, let me bring it down here. Oh, hi, kitty. Where are you? I felt you. Independence. Carving your own path. Well, that goes a lot with what I just got done telling you about my story about ego. Be independent. Control. Take back your power. Set healthy boundaries. Surrender. Let go. Be okay with be comfortable with being uncomfortable. What else? Don't be afraid of not knowing everything. Don't be afraid of not knowing how something's going to turn out, or get out of your Hollywood head and stop creating fake scenarios in your head, because they do nothing. Half the time those scenarios are not about, the wonderful side that it could be. And that's great. If you can do that, if you can create scenarios where where you win and you're not mad, then great. But half the time, those Hollywood scenarios are created by ego out of fear. And so when you can recognize, that thought pattern, you can reverse it and think positively. Like, how am I going to react? How do I really want to feel? And then you can let yourself feel that. It's that easy. It does take practice, but you will be amazed at when you start practicing that power of positivity. I also have a video. I could post that here too after the live. Just that little shift, that power of positivity, just by recognizing, hey, I'm negative right now. I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to reverse it and, work better at that the next time. So I will read from the book. Wisdom of the Herald. It's time to do it your way, no matter what that looks like. Claim your right to carve your own path. This requires action and foresight. Be original and renewed as you press forth and onward into paths uncharted. Throw the map, the template, the world's opinion out the window. It's your choice. I like that. I'm going to read that again. Throw the map, the template, the world's opinion out the window. It's your choice. Wisdom of the Dragon. There is freedom in knowing that your sacred consciousness grants you the inherent ability to do what you want, when you want, unbounded by only the restrictions you self-impose upon yourself. Break the chains, cast off the shackles, and break free. Relishing in your independence, freedom is yours. Star Dragon Invocation. So here's your homework. Actively scan your thoughts, mind, and belief system to weed out any preconceived notions of what one should do in a situation. To each his own, and it is every person's right to actively press forward down a road less traveled and path of one's own choosing. Actively seek freedom and independence with each new day in every situation. You do not require validation or the opinion of others. Do this your way. And this is interesting. I like that, and just because someone does something that either you wouldn't do or you just can't understand why they're doing it, wish them well. And that's basically the end of the conversation. Because if you keep arguing about it, you're just arguing because you're not going to change each other's mind. And a lot of times it's just letting go. Just let it go. Don't talk about it. That's why politics don't come into friendships, because what if your friend is on the opposite side of who you typically will vote for? Just don't even bring it up, and I'm sure that happens a lot, lately, because there's so much fear out there, and there's so much propaganda and so much media platforms that are wanting us to think this way and wanting us to think that way. So, just keep in mind, that, not everything that's on the media is healthy to watch. And even some of the things that you do follow and you do agree, just be careful how much time you're investing in listening to that, because you can, there's a term called toxic positivity, so just be mindful of, where you're spending your energy and what you are believing. Just make sure you're giving yourself time to be productive for things that bring you joy. Are you going to sit 3-4 hours every night on your phone listening to videos that stimulate you? That's great, but at the end, what did you what did you gain out of that? You know, it's some insight, sure, but if you're doing it constantly, you know, and not having anything benefit out of the videos, if you're not contributing to your life or helping the community by watching these videos, you know, I don't know how much I would watch. So that's my advice. Get off the medias and do something productive. You know, I've been doing puzzles lately because that's helping my anxiety. And then my puzzles gave me a stiff neck. So now I have to back off the puzzles for a while and find something else creative that doesn't stress my neck. Next week will be Thursday again because we are, I have a prior engagement that I am going to be at. I do readings with the wonderful Oracle cards. I do Oracle card readings either in person or virtual, and I charge $30. It's usually an hour. If it's over, you won't pay more than that. My husband is doing Reiki sessions and shaman practitioner. So if you want more information on any of those things, please reach out. We do have a business branded called Third Crow Energies. And as soon as we have our Facebook page ready, we will probably do a little contest where if you have had any experience with the lives or an oracle card reading, there will be like, you post it and you like the new page and you post on the new page, and then we'll put your name in a drawing for some special freebies as like a, you know, a customer, client, viewer, follower appreciation. So, all right. So I want to keep it under an hour, folks. So if there's any questions, please, you know, don't hesitate to reach out with anything, any questions. There are no dumb questions, you know, and if I don't have the question for you and I need to find out from somebody that, you know, maybe has experienced it or has more knowledge in that, I will definitely either give you that person's contact and you can contact them individually, or I can find out for you. So stay tuned for next Thursday, and stay tuned because I will be posting pictures of all the cards and all the readings. So thanks for watching, folks. Love you.